So let's look at a slightly more complex example. We know that the way that we can do an inner join is like this in relational algebra or like this in SQL. And sometimes in SQL, or even in fact in relational algebra, we'll have to add in some extra information on that top and third line if it's a particularly complex query. So let's have a look at an example where we do that. So let's have a look at this one. It says, list the staff name, the department name and the location for staff who earn more than 30,000. So looks quite straightforward, but there's a lot going on in here. And in fact, this combines lots and lots of things that we've been working on before. There's a Cartesian product being turned into a join. There's a projection because we want particular columns. And there's a selection because we want particular rows. So let's just work our way through slowly. So the first thing we ask ourselves is, which particular table or tables do we need to solve this query? And the way that we do this is to look at the columns that we have in the query. And you can see it says staff name, department name and location. And referring back to the tables, we see that's those two tables. That's the emp table and the department table. We're going to need both tables. And the way that we do that in SQL is to put both tables after the from clause. So we're going to write them in here. And the moment that we use more than one table, we must add a where clause. We must add a where clause to actually turn the Cartesian product into an appropriate inner join. So we're going to combine emp with department, and from our previous work, we know there's a shared column, department number, and what we're going to do is we're going to match on department number. So we turn the Cartesian product, that notion that everything in the first table is combined with everything in the second table, into an inner join by doing that. Match on a particular set of values that occur across. Now, it says for staff who earn more than 30,000, and we have to add those extra conditions in here. And the way that we can do that is to use an AND. So combine the two tables together where the department numbers match. But in fact, if you look at the original query, it says who earn more than 30,000. So if that was just a normal query, we would go, where salary is greater than 30,000. But of course, that means we've got two conditions that need to apply. We need to do the department number equals department number bit, but we also need to do the sal bit. So we're going to combine those, and the way that we do that is to use an AND. So you can see we've got department number equals department number, and sal is greater than 30,000. And of course, there's one more thing to do, because if you look at the question, it says show staff name, department name, and location. Now, in the previous examples, we just used a star next to the select. But what we really want to do is we want to show particular columns. So we put the particular columns up on the top line. And that is the completed SQL expression for this. So we've got our Cartesian product, which we turn into an inner join. In other words, we combine the tables together correctly. We're also filtering on another condition because we're only interested in people who earn over 30,000. And as well as only showing particular rows, we're actually only interested in particular columns, e-name, department name, and location, just like that.